Yo, what up, guys? So here to talk a little bit about AOC and my three negatives that I have from it. And it took me a little bit to think about this. So, like, it wasn't a overall bad experience. Some server crashes and stuff like that. Some laggy points of the server. Like, ooh, oh no, like that's fuck that shit. You know that shit's gonna happen. That shit happens in fully released games that have been around for years. Like, if you're going into alpha, shit's gonna happen like that. But my three main negatives are easily fixable things. I think they will be addressed, and they're kind of more of annoyances than like really just like it's nothing that's going to stop me from no life in the game. So let's jump into number one. I think the biggest thing that like the game and the community you'll see in the Discord, maybe I don't know, I don't check the general, but for the alpha too, like Discord, a lot of people complaining about the PvP. I think there's plenty of YouTube videos out there. I'm sure you know a lot about it. If you're staying up with it, the flagging system is it when it works. I've seen it work in other games. It works really good in games like Arcade. Being a murderer and stuff like that's the route it should take. This whole like getting corrupt for killing people and then dropping your gear because you're killing them, fucking stupid. Like, doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I'm the better player, I have the better whatever gear, the better class, all that shit I've worked on, and now because I kill somebody, like if they get somebody else to kill me and now I'm gonna drop my shit. Like, nah, dude, that's it's kind of fucking lame. You guys know I play a lot of full loot. Like, I play Mortal, full loot, hardcore game. When you die, you drop fucking everything. So I'm not afraid of losing pixels, but I just don't want to lose pixels because I'm getting a damage debuffer for killing people, and then on top of it, I'm dropping my gear. So I think they're going to work it out because it's huge backlash in the community right now. I get they're maybe trying to go for, the idea of like, you don't want a level 25 right now, camping a level 5 all day long, like just because he's from different guilds or something. Like, I totally get that aspect of it, but there's got to be a better way. Uh, where they need to change it is maybe like there's got to be a level barrier or something like that. You can't attack somebody within, I don't know, 10 levels, lower than you. There's got to be something out there that they can do to combat that, not like a damage dampener for being better. On top of that, right now, like the flagging system, I thought I clipped it. I was going to show it, but I didn't. Is like people know how to like bug it out. So, for instance, I got in a fight. My group got in a fight with another group. They flagged up, came into us, but somehow, like, even though I was killing purple guys, I was still getting corruption levels. And so that fucking sucked because eventually I did die later on in the fight because I had stacks of corruption against me. And when I died, I dropped, my best items in the game. Luckily, my priest, my cleric was able to pick me up. I grabbed my loot, and then I died again to them because like they didn't loot me in the middle of combat. So I got all my stuff back, but that's not going to be the case for anybody. And it makes me not want to PvP. It's like, dog, I farmed for 3 days. I probably spent close to 50 hours in 3 days on this game, and I only got one good weapon drop out of it. Like, do I really want to risk that over killing somebody? Like, it makes me deter from playing PvP, and that's the only reason I play games is to PvP. It's a lot of people, so they got to fix it. Arcade did a good job, where the flagging system worked over there, reporting people, them becoming murderers, things like that. The Emberstones here, if you're not familiar, it's like a priest. There has to be like some kind of like wait period. Like WoW had like 30 seconds. The priest would every 30 seconds revive everybody in that area. That worked out kind of to where like let's say when we got in a fight, like, we were fighting and then we killed them at the steps of like this. I'll make a video for it, but we fought them at the steps. There's an Emberstone directly behind my group, so we're killing them as they're coming out. Well, they're falling back in, so we're stuck there. We're still fighting them on that front. We got our mages and our bards and our me in the back line, and I got my melee up there holding the line. Well, now those guys that we killed are now spawning behind us and just pushing into our back line. So it's like, and it's like that, and there's no like diminishing return for killing them. There's no like damage debuffer. Like it's like they could possibly add like a safe zone or a non-combat zone around those Ember Springs or something like that, to stop people from getting priest camp. I know a lot of people that was happening where people would go to a grind zone, they get killed, they try to like res at the priest there. Well, that big group of whatever guild is there is just farming them out. So we could talk a lot about the PvP, but feel like I'm ranting on about it. Definitely needs to be fixed. I think that's the biggest negative in the game so far. Number two is quite simply the friend system, and whispering is so terrible. Okay, there is no way to add a friend. Like if I guys in this group, for instance, here, some of these guys I ran with for like 3 days, but it's just because I like remembered their name or they remembered my name, and like whispered me, and so like I was able to add them in the next day. But it's a really pain in the ass for me to as a like when I was filling groups every day to grind out, to find people. I'm looking in guilds. I'm like, my guild is huge, and and I can't pull from there. I'm going to global, and then I'm just like, sometimes I'm just really grabbing random people that run by them. I might not even be looking. There's like, I just see random guys. I just start inviting them. I'm like, oh, I need that. Like, okay, cool. Like they want to grind, and it works out. Like usually everybody's like down. Some people are, nobody. People are shy or afraid to ask if they could join or something like that. So I'll just throw people into my group. I don't give a fuck. You're going to help me grind. So, and I need you and you need me. But they really just need a way to add somebody to your friends list so that you don't got to do that. And then the whisper system. Somebody whispers you. To whisper them, you have to type out /whisper space their name every single time. And some people have funky names. Like it's hard to remember or it's hard to type out over and over again. So it's like, it was terrible. Um, super easy fix. I'm sure it'll get fixed. There's no like just /reply, no /r. There's no adding friends list. So I think that's probably the most annoyance I had, especially when you're trying to DPS, trying to run a group, trying to fill while you're losing people, things like that. And then my number three is the UI. The UI is pretty fucking gross. The raid frames look good. But moving people around in a raid, you can't. It's dumb. Like right now, in this group, for instance, if I wanted to switch places with two people, I can't because both groups are full. It'll just tell me they're full. You can't just like trade a guy from group one to group two. It makes it super annoying. I want to have my tanks at the top, then I want to have my healers, then I want to have my DPS. I want to make sure I have a bard in each group so that the songs are working out. And I can't move anybody to a group three. So like to make a third group, I'd have to invite somebody. Then I could kind of shuffle people around, but then you have to like do this weird shuffle where you gotta like move people out and move people in, and it does like this like rotating them thing, and it's a giant pain in the ass. The bars are kind of gross. I don't like them. The UIs are like really small. Like the text, I feel like is. I mean, some of us MMO players are getting old. I'm 30. And it's getting harder to see that little text and shit. You can fix all that shit. There is like settings in there for auto attacking that after every time like you log out and log back in, you have to go back in and redo some of those settings. So like I think the UI was really bad. But again, I'm sure all that shit will be fixed. Like I think like if these are my three negatives for it, like these are petty ass negatives that I know will get fixed. I know these things will change and they will be better. So that's like gives me a lot of hope in the game. I hopefully don't let this like I would never like try to deter or like get somebody to spend this amount of money on a game, or miss out on it. Like it is a lot of fun, but you got to know what you're committing to. I'm sure there's a lot of other videos out there you can reference, and seeing what other people are saying. I don't think there are overwhelmingly large negatives to the game right now. I think there's a lot of positives. And I'm gonna have a video about that. And I think that's gonna be equally as hard to narrow down just three positives. But if you guys have questions, feel free to jump in here. I'm gonna try and stream. I just hate streaming because I feel like it's super fucking boring. I'm not like a big streamer. I'm like not, I'll interact with you guys if you have questions in there. Get in there and drop questions to me. So I'll have those up and running, but like I don't have like the sweet UI. Never gonna do it, but if you have questions, see me on there streaming. Jump in. It'll probably just be more of this. This is majority of the game right now is just going to different parts of the world and grinding fucking mobs. Anyways, guys, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.